Hello everyone, it is your girl Andrea, and today we are coming at you with a little plan with me in my Printpression planner. And this week I am going to be using the Vintage Noel set. This is for the week of November 11th through the 17th. If you've been following my journey on the Instagram, you know that this has been a struggle bus of a week for me, as far as I have put in all of the stickers on the wrong weeks. But you know what? We're working with what we got and we are going to figure it out. So let's go ahead and get into the day by day. Oh wait, first I am using matte bronze foil from my shop, as well as a foil bundle from Maggie of Crest Press's shop. So let's go ahead and get into the day by day. Okay, let's get my life together here. Hokey dokey pokey. On Monday, I went to the good old SPC to print orders. So for that, I'm going to do a little computer and one of these cute little rounded boxes. And I'll plop it on here. I love these plaid. Like, they're like nice and big, so I want to make sure that I get a lot of the background showing. All of my scripts this week are from Plana Hannah in no foil, which I've been recently obsessed with. And then afterwards, I just came home and did a lot of computer work. So for that, I'm just going to use one of these large boxes and use... Actually, I'm probably going to use the Scribbler on the computer to kind of switch it up a little bit versus having two doodles. And unless I say otherwise, the scribblers and doodles that I use will be from Doodle 2 and Doodle 1, which were kit add-ons. So I'm going to put a little work script in here. Again, all scripts, all of them will be from Hannah. All quote boxes also from Hannah. Then I just hung out with the fam. So let me see how I'm going to mark that. First, let's put this on the bottom so I know about how much room I have, because I want to put in the TV show that we were watching. Hang out with the fam. Let's do this here. Oh, I love this. It looks so pretty. The matte bronze was the perfect choice. So for hanging out with the fam, I do have this little couch on Doodle 2 that Hannah actually requested this as, like, she needed one thing, and it was the couch. And I was like, yeah, I don't know how else is going to use that, but I've been using it a ton. It's obviously on Doodle 2, so I feel like it's good stuff. And then I also have Nobody Wants This, which was the show that we were watching. It was definitely a very, like, oddball for me to pick for Nick and I to watch. I'm going to use some of these little thing icons from the Crest Press foil bundle. Anything that I don't have an icon for a little thing, I'm going to use little snowflakes from Hannah, because I have a whole sheet of those. I don't want to use some of them up. But we were watching this week. It was like a very odd choice for me to pick for Nick and I to watch, because Nick's not like, it was definitely like a romantic comedy, but he ended up really liking it. So that's fun. And we're excited for the second season. And then in between that, I put in that Nick and I finished a puzzle, which was very fun. We had never really done a puzzle together. We did one of the Magic Company ones, which was very, very fun. I definitely would recommend if you are a puzzler and haven't heard of Magic Company puzzles. It was really intense, but it was a very good time, especially the ending of it. Then on Tuesday, I was at SPC packing orders. So for that, I'm going to use another one of these little doodads. And then for packing orders, I'm going to use this little, like, box and mailers. I don't really ever pack anything in boxes. That would be a lot of stickers, unless I have, like, swag I'm sending out. But I think it's cute for packing orders. And I have another little at SPC script, which looks super cute in this font. It's not like the best placement, Andrea. Ugh. I think this is the fourth plan with me I'm filming tonight. I just pulled off some of the ink, but I mean, we know what it says, right? I do have like a little Sharpie roller over here. I feel like it could just like, oh yeah, this is like not the vibe, I don't think. I kind of messed that one up. I might just go ahead and put that on another script sheet, and because because I feel like that was not the best move on my part. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this over here so I remember to put it just like on my next script sheet, and I'll put that in. NBD, NBD. Then I was just working on the computer again, which is what I do every day, and I just have a blast chilling and working. I don't have a non-patterned one. Oh, no, I do. It's over here. Andrea, open your eyeballs. Okay, so let's do that, and then I'll do the little computer on this one since we don't have just one right above it. So let's plop that in for packing up, or for working at home. So let's do that in there. Should have just left that other sticker. Then down here, I am going to put in that Nick and I had a little date night. So for that, let's do, I think I'm going to do this box here. I got ink literally everywhere. Okay. This box here. Or I'm going to cut it because like I said, I want to use more, to see more of the background there with the underlay. And then I think for date night, I'm going to use the little, like wine glass. I don't drink, but I think it's cute. I think it's very cute. So this night we were going downtown to see Shucked. It was honestly a little bit chaotic. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that's like every story I'm telling. I'm like, it was a little chaotic, but honestly it was. So I made an oops-a-daisy, and I have been really excited. Out of all of the Broadway shows that were traveling to Austin, I was the most excited for Shucked. And I was just like so pumped like to see it, and I don't know. Anyways, so we get down, so first we go to Nando's, which we were so excited because I don't know if it opened this day or like the day before or what. We were so excited to go to Nando's because they just, like I said, opened in Austin and Mueller, and it's like on the way to where we were going, right? So we, where'd my what's it called to go? Oh, there. So we go to Nando's. It was delicious. We sat actually like a booth next to one of like the biggest Austin food bloggers, which was fun. And it was funny because Nick actually noticed before I did. He's like, don't you follow her on Instagram? Because I'm always like showing him all the like food posts, and I'm like, oh yeah. So that was cool. She was like covering it. And then we were like going to Shucked, and I got down there and we got to the parking garage. We paid. I was walking out and I was like going to download my tickets because I'm just like a slacker and just didn't download them prior. And I was like, Nick had forgotten his glasses, I think, in the car. I think that's what it was. He forgot his glasses. And he's like, I'm going to go grab them. He goes and grabs them. I'm like downloading the tickets. So I sat down to do it. And then I noticed that when he came back, I was like, had my face on, and he's like, what? And I'm like, we actually have tickets for Thursday, and I'm supposed to be leaving for like Dallas on Thursday. And I was like, but I really wanted to see this. So I was like trying to see if like, because you can like exchange your tickets because we have like the season pass, you can exchange them, but there was no tickets to exchange, which is always wild to me because there's always so many empty seats. But anyways, then Nick went on to SeatGeek, and they had tickets for $11 for like orchestra, which is way better than the seats that we would have had. So I was like, yeah, just grab them. And I, with the fees and everything, it ended up being like $50 for both tickets. It's wild. So I'm like, maybe next year I won't even like do the season pass, and we'll just do like test my luck with SeatGeek because that's wild. And also I could just like buy them 2 hours before and I could make my way downtown. So we got those, and then we're like watching this show, and I was like so excited before. I love that it's about like corn and like whatever. So we're watching it, and I'm like, oh God, I hate this. It was very like lowbrow humor, not funny, jokes every 10 seconds, not my vibe. And Nick was like, yeah, it's fine. And there was also somebody who was like sitting like next to me that was like very much not, like I did not have personal space. And I felt like very claustrophobic, and I also just wasn't having a good time. So like at intermission, he's like, I have to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, I just need to get up and like do something. So I like got up, and he's like looking at me. He's like, do you want to go? And I was like, would you be mad if we went? And he's like, no. So we laughed and then we just cuddled and we were like fine. But it was like kind of a catastrophe in like my sense. So then we were tired AF because up in the middle of the night for like 2 hours. And then Nick got me McDonald's breakfast because he knows that that is the whole way to my soul. I'm a $2.50 bundle girl. I feel like it's the best deal ever. $2.50. I think it's like not everywhere, but it's like you get a hash brown and a sausage sandwich thing. I love it. I think it's a vibe. So I don't think there's anything else. Do the little star on here to use some of these up. And then I organized my gift closet because I wanted to wrap Jessica's present I sent her, which I actually didn't send it until like yesterday, but you know, it's been done. So I did that, and I actually spilled my iced coffee on the ground. I remember it very vividly because I was just like, what a day. So I organized that because it was kind of like through the year it gets a little messy with like birthday wrapping and stuff. And then I decorated the tree with the kids this day, the upstairs Christmas tree. We decided to do a like kids Christmas tree in the playroom this year. I've also decided I think I'm getting rid of my playroom because none of my kids actually play in it. It's actually with Theo and Lila, but I just didn't care about it really. So we did that. Let me see if I have like a deco bit that would fit on there. I could use one of the little, I don't know if I want to use an apple slice for that though. So let's just use another snowflake. But my kids, yeah, don't ever play in the playroom. So I think I have divided in my head like the different items that are up there into their rooms. And I think I want to make it like a game room, like board games, but also could be like flex so that there's like a big table that they could play Legos on. They could do Play-Doh, they could do coloring, like, and it's more like a craft /gaming area because they just don't use it the way that it is. My kids like playing in their rooms or playing in the living room. That's basically it. Then, which there's not even like really any toys in my living room. Like as far as like the playroom is like literally like if I had that as a kid, I would have never left the playroom. Anyways, so then I was hanging out with the kids. Nick was at a show and this day we were coloring and doing whatever. Theo, most days Theo would always, if he ever colored, he would be coloring with crayons, and I don't think he really cared about crayons too much. So I was like, oh, do you want to use some markers? And he's like, oh yeah. I think he uses the markers a lot in school. Honestly, I'm going to be real with you. Markers are messy, so normally I'm just like, let's just do crayons, especially because Lila always wants what Theo has. And Theo did so well with the markers, and he colored for like 3 hours this night. And then, because I was like printing him and Bennett off like coloring pages from the internet, and they were vibing with it because I printed them out like Fortnite ones and stuff, and they thought that that was so cool. So I was hanging out with the kids, and we were coloring, doing the do. Even Lila was coloring. She was loving it, but she was coloring with crayons because I don't trust a girl with markers. Not at all. She would just color all over herself. So we were doing that, and then we did end up getting DoorDash for dinner because I did not feel like cooking. So obviously we got some Donald's. So I'm going to go ahead and put in DoorDash, and I'm just going to use a little snowflake for that. Feel like I'm more like into these Plan With Me's the closer I get to actually remembering like them happening. You know what I mean? Like I felt very disconnected to my ones that were 2.5 months ago. This one was only like a month ago, so it feels a little bit more fresh. This night I did finish up Satan's Affair, which is the Haunting Adeline's, it's the 0.5, so you're supposed to read it beforehand. So it kind of was like spoiled, and I didn't like love it. But like now after reading the second, which is Hunting Adeline, I think that I like Satan's Affair more. Because I don't want to go into it in case you wanted to read it, but it gave reason and more like context, and I do love Sibby like quite a bit as a character now, whereas before I thought she was unhinged. So then on Thursday we did drive to the good old Dalles, which I'm like, If I wouldn't have been able to get those tickets for Shucked, they did have tickets for Shucked on Thursday, and I was like, okay, well, like, I really want to go, and I bet I would have been so disappointed if I would have moved going to Dallas until Friday to go see Shucked and then not have liked it. So I feel like the universe was a little bit on my side on that one. So we did drive to Dallas this day, me and Miss Hanners. So let's go ahead and plop that in. I think I am gonna use something from the deco sheet. Let's use the, oh, I don't know. Let's use the bread. I like food. Okay. So we drove to Dallas and we were going to BGG Con, which is a board game convention. I'm not gonna lie, like, not like super excited to go because, like I said, I've been in like a board game slump. But once I got there, I was pretty hype on it. And I remember I was like, oh, maybe I'm like, my slump's over. And Hannah was like, hee hee hee. That's what I was hoping. So we did that. And then on the way there, we did get McDonald's breakfast, of course. It was kind of like a late breakfast, but obviously still good. So we got Donald's. Again, the 250 bundle, because that's where it's at. And then we did stop at Walmart because Nick, it was honestly bizarre because we had to go through like the weirdest, like most decrepit looking town to get to this like charger from my car. And I had to go over this like crazy river that was super long with like, there was a lake with like I hate bridges. It's like my number one hate. And then we got to this Walmart, and this Walmart was so bussin'. It had stuff that my Walmart doesn't have. I ended up spending so much dollars in this Walmart, but I got a lot of Christmas stuff done. I got like, it was just such a good Walmart. They had everything. So I'm like, anytime I go to Dallas now, I might have to brave the lake to go up to this Walmart. So we charged up there and walked around Walmart. It was like perfect timing. And then we got to BGG Con. So I think I'm going to use a fancy label for that. Very exciting. We got our badges. We got, you get like at both BGG Con and BGG Spring, you get a free game when you get in, which is like always like basically half your ticket's value. And then we walked around and shopped. I don't know if either of us, yeah, I ended up buying, I think like 2 things. They were both dual games. So they were like 2-player only games. We ended up playing the one, let's see, do you want to gaming or shopping? Let's do gaming. We ended up playing, King of Tokyo Duel, which I really like King of Tokyo, like the idea of it. But I think the duel is way better than the actual full game. But I've never played the cooperative one. Somebody got it for me, I think, for my birthday, but it's just been sitting there because I'm lazy. So we did that. And then also while we were at Walmart, I had mentioned to Hannah that I wanted to try crocheting. Instagram, I think, was showing me crochet reels like for weeks prior. And I was like, well, I could do that. So I got stuff to crochet. So I did crochet a little bit this night, which was very fun. The first thing that I made was rough. It was bad. And it was, I watched this one like really like in-depth video that had like a bazillion views. And then I was like, yeah, this looks terrible. So I watched a different video, and then my second thing I made looked so much better. And now I'm a little crocheting queen, but I only make blankets as of right now and scarves. So I haven't done anything wild yet, but it's on my list to do. So we did that, and then we went to this place called Chet's. I think Hannah found it. It was, or no, maybe I did. I don't remember. But anyways, that's not the point. So we went to this place called Chet's, and it was good. It was like an Irish pub, I think. And it was super cute. It looked like it was from a movie the way it was decorated. It looked very like 90s, like kind of like dingy decorated, if that makes sense. But it was like really cute. Like it was a vibe. It was an aesthetic. It was a choice. And the food was good. I had steak, and I had steak I think twice this weekend because I think my period was coming. And this was the best one. And the other one I think was way more expensive too. But anyways, went to this place called Chet's, right? And the craziest thing happened. So we were, and I was pretty livid. But there was this group of people, like 3 people that they're like maybe a little younger than us or like our age. I don't really know. I'm like really bad at that. And they came in and they walked in, and I'm trying to find a specific sticker. Please hold. I'm do something like shopping related. Oh, I'll do the little card game. Or no, I don't know. Ooh, maybe I'll choose one of these. Okay. So maybe I'll do this. They came in and they sat down, or I don't remember exactly what happened, but basically they were talking about like how bad the place smelled. Like they made it a point to call over the like server to be like, it stinks in here. And I just thought that was bizarre because I have the most like powerful nose and it did not smell in there at all, or I probably would have said something like to Hannah whenever we got in there that it smelled, like, because that is like my nose is the most powerful. It did not smell in there. And they were like complaining about it, and the server's like, okay, like what can I get you? And they're like, yeah, we're not staying here because like it smells. You probably can't smell it because like you're so used to it. And I was like, what are they talking about? Like it does not smell in here. And then they proceeded to like waste the table. Like it wasn't like busy or anything, but they just like sat there inside, despite the fact they could have went outside of it. Smelled so bad. And waste the table, holding the table, and then they didn't end up leaving until like we left. But the whole time they were talking about like different places to go and like pricing. So I feel like they were just being like pains because they didn't want to pay the price, but I feel like the prices were fair there. But I think they were talking about alcohol, and I don't really ever pay attention to the price of alcohol or really know what like alcohol pricing is, if that makes sense. So I don't really know, but I was just like kind of floored that they were like so rude about it. And also, if it smelled so bad, like leave. I don't know. But they were just very, very rude for absolutely no reason when it did not smell in there, because I would have noticed. So, and I feel like it smelled outside. Like when I went outside, I was like, okay, maybe like fresh air, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, maybe. But like, no, it smelled worse outside. It smelled like stinky, like outside city. Anyways, we went to the bazaar in the morning, which is basically like a 1-hour yard sale for games. And then we went to Cindy's for breakfast, which we ended up being at a hotel right next to the Cindy's that we love. We tried another Cindy's. Hannah liked it, but I thought it wasn't good before. But this is the original one, and it was so good. And then we did game a bunch, and then we went back to the hotel and I crocheted a bit. And then for dinner this night, we went to Texas Spice, which it was good. This is the other place that I had a steak, and the night before's steak was way better. I think this one had potatoes though, which the potato, or no, maybe it didn't. I think the side of this one was really good, but I don't remember what it was. So also, I think this is the one that had, this place had, well, I think both technically actually had terrible service. Like as far as like the chats, our server, nowhere to be found ever, but it's whatever. We still weren't like rude about it. And the same thing with Texas Spice. We could never find their server for any reason. So that was a bummer. But again, I would never be rude about it. I just could never. Then, actually, no, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use something else. I feel like I keep like when I mess with these, the like ink is just like, nah. Okay, so let's do the, I already used that, boomer. Let's do just a little thing, then it's fine. So this night I was super congested. I'm gonna try and move this, and I know it's gonna just be annoyed with me again. Okay. Super congested, and also I had like a stuck burp, which has happened to me a couple times. I've deduced that it happens to me sometimes whenever I take pills. For why, I don't really know, but I get like a stuck burp, and it like bothers the crap out of me. And I tried everything, and I also was super congested, and I took like showers to try and like alleviate that, and it just nothing was working. I think it was just like really bad allergies. So that was that night. And then on Saturday we had Cindy's breakfast again. We were like, if we are literally basically in the same building as Cindy's. We are going to eat at Cindy's as many times as possible. So we had Cindy's for breakfast, and then we did some more gaming and shopped at the con. So let's put that in. And then we got Cindy's again for lunch. So we'll just go ahead and plop that in again. I think this was the first time that we had Cindy's for lunch. So how many times can I put Cindy's in a spread? I don't know. Don't tempt me. Honestly, wish I could have tried more things. I think I had a Philly cheesesteak, which it was very, very odd because I think they advertised it as a Philly cheesesteak, but it was like a Philly cheesesteak mixed with like a French dip. It's very weird, but it was good. But it was weird. So then, like I said, we played games in the middle, and we also shopped a little bit at the con. I think for gaming, I think I'm going to use one of these because I have quite a bit of room. Let's do that, and then do the little gaming script up here. Probably put like a little deco bit down there. Maybe I'll just go ahead and throw in one of these little snowflake clusters in here. Very cute. So we had Cindy's for lunch, and then we bopped and shopped and went to Starbucks. We went to, I think Half Price Books. We might have went to Barnes & Noble. Went to Starbucks apparently. And then for dinner, we went to Italy, which I guess that's how you say it. And around Dallas. I guess that's what we did. I had seen it on Instagram and it looked really good. I wanted to go mostly for like the shopping of it. I don't think I put in another crochet. So I think I'm just going to put Italy in a really big box. Because I have like crochet at the bottom, but I don't have another crochet script. So I think I'm just going to do a big old Italy box. So I wanted to go mostly for the shopping, but we're going to eat here. And Hannah said it was the second best pasta she's ever had. And girl was in Italy for a while that one time recently. So yeah, it was super good. And the service was impeccable, especially over the service that we had the first couple of days. But yeah, it was good. We got some like groceries then. Some chocolates, which were really delicious, and I definitely would go back if I was ever in the area. So this was our last day in Dallas then. It was Sunday, and we, of course, could you guess it, got good old Cindy's for breakfast. I forgot to tell you about I feel like all these crazy things only happen when I'm with Hannah. So whenever we got there, we were like earlier than check-in. So I asked the valet, I was like, hey, like, do you know if they'll be able to like hold our bags? And they were like, oh yeah, sure. Like, obviously the room's not ready, so whatever. So we get our bags, and we have like this one big, like, I don't know, like a tote, like a plastic tote, like a Rubbermaid. I called it a Tupperware recently, and Hannah thought that was so funny, but a Rubbermaid tote that had like snacks and stuff. Because like, why would we pack a bag when we just could, we just use that. I always, if we go on a trip together that we're driving, I bring one because, or transporting games, it's easier. So the way the valet is you have to like go into the hotel kind of, and then you have to like take an elevator down to the lobby. So we load everything up on the dolly. We're trucking this dolly, and we get to the front desk, and the girl's miserable, by the way, absolutely miserable. And we're like, oh, like, hey, you know, our room's not ready, but like, we just like have you hold this luggage. We actually didn't know the room wasn't ready, but we just kind of figured, even though we weren't like that early. Do you know what I mean? So we were like, oh, is our room ready? No. I'm like, okay, well, can you hold the luggage? And they're like, no, we can't do that. And I was like, and I'm like literally staring at the luggage that's sitting there. And she's like, yeah, no. And I was like, why? Because literally the valet guy said that they could. And then also, like, I can see the bags. And she's like, yeah, we can't hold that. And I'm like, okay, well, what can you hold? And she said everything but the tote. And I'm like, so I have to get my car to put this tote in, even though you have about 7,000 bags here. okay. And it was just also that she was like really miserable and like snotty about it, that I was just like, the drama, my friend. So we had to like bring everything back up, and the guy was like, what are you doing? And we're like, oh, well, we need the car because they won't hold our stuff. And he's like, what do you mean they won't hold it? He obviously could see we have a tote there. And I was like, I don't know. They just won't hold it. And he's like, ooh, that's weird. So even he thought it was like a little bizarre, and he works there. And at first he was like, yeah, they'll hold it. They're gonna hold it. But then he ended up just like being super nice and like walking us to our car, because he could like take an elevator, and he helped us like put everything in. And he was like, yeah, that's just weird. So I was like, yeah, I don't really know either. So, but she just did not seem happy. Everybody else that we like had interactions with at the hotel after that though seemed happy. So I don't know. I think she was just like in a bad mood that day. So then, we did drive home. There's like a lot of chaos at my house because my kids are just wild on the weekends, realistically. Whenever they were in quiet time, we got home pretty early. When they were in quiet time, Nick and I did take a little nippy nap while they were all napping or doing quiet time. And then I was just hanging out with the fam the rest of the night. So let's go ahead and put that in. Okay. And afterwards, we did finish Nobody Wants This, which was super good. So let's put Nobody Wants This in here with another snowflake. And then for hanging out with the fam, I'll use another deco bit. Let's see, let's do the little book here. The Letters to Santa book. And we'll do a little with fam. And that, my friends, was my week. Had a lot of fun. Definitely missed my own bed. It's literally me. Like a very old person of me. I miss my bed and my back hurts. So that is everything. Also, in case you're wondering, the stuck burp, it usually goes away overnight. One time it didn't, and it was like kind of lingering for a day. Most of the time it goes away overnight. So yeah, it looks beautiful. It looks perfect. It looks fantastic. I wonder if there's like a press work sticker. It's going to look weird, but I feel like instead of me having to, You know what I was thinking though, is I probably went with Nick this day. Let's just go ahead and do with Nick on that and call it a day, so I don't have to like worry about, because we know that this is packing orders. What else am I going to do with him? Go to the post office? No. With Nick. Call it a day. Be done with that. Yeah. I think it's perfect. So I have some extra scripts. So I'm going to go ahead and throw those out. Everything that I'm destashing, I will show you now. I'll probably put some of these little deco bits throughout the spread. And then destash the rest. And then let me show you what else I have that I'll throw into my destash pile. Probably save these little deco bits, maybe throw some around the spread as well. And I have a bit left on those. And that, my friends, is everything for this video. Thank you so much for watching and watching my chaos train wreck of Plan With Me's as per always. I hope you liked it, and leave me a little Christmas tree down below if you made it till the end. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you in my next one.